She said, "My ex texted, I might give him another chance." I replied, "Follow your heart." Then I called her bestie, who'd been crushing on me for years. My fiancée's reaction when she saw us at the restaurant where I proposed to her. I'm 38, watching my now ex-fiancée completely lose it in our neighborhood Facebook group while I type this. But let me back up. Diana and I had been together for 6 years, met at a colleague's housewarming party, hit it off immediately, moved into my house after 2 years. I proposed last February at Bella Vista, our favorite spot downtown. Wedding was set for September, 4 months away. Venue booked, deposits paid, save the dates sent, the whole 9 yards. 3 weeks ago, we're going over seating charts when her phone buzzes. She glances at it, and her whole face changes. "Everything okay?" I asked. "It's Cole." Cole. The ex she dated for 7 years before me, the one who dumped her via text to focus on his music career. The one she cried about for the first year of our relationship. What does he want? She was quiet for a minute, reading. He says he made a mistake. He's been in therapy and realizes I was the one that got away. He wants to meet for closure. My stomach dropped. Closure? After 6 years with me? She put her phone down. Look, I'm being honest with you. Part of me wonders what would have happened if he hadn't left. We had plans, you know. And now he's saying everything I wanted to hear back then. So what about our plans? I gestured to the wedding binder open between us. I think I need to explore this. Maybe give him another chance. I owe it to myself to know for sure. I sat there stunned. 6 years. I'd helped her through her dad's heart surgery, supported her through 2 job changes, celebrated when she landed her current marketing role. We had a mortgage together, wedding deposits, a whole life. And she wanted to throw it away for someone who abandoned her. "Follow your heart, Diana," I said quietly. She looked surprised. "That's it? You're not going to fight for me?" "You just told me you want to give your ex another chance. What's there to fight for?" "I expected more from you. And I expected loyalty from you." She met Cole that Friday. Came home at 2 a.m., lipstick smeared, hair messy, smelling like cheap cologne and whiskey. "We just talked," she said. Right. So Diana's been texting Cole constantly, doesn't even hide it. Giggles at her phone during dinner, takes calls in the bathroom. Still living in our house, though, because she needs time to figure things out. Here's what Diana doesn't know. Her best friend Natalie has been into me since day one. Natalie told me this herself, drunk at Diana's birthday party last year. Said she'd never act on it because sisters before misters, but that Diana was lucky to have me. Natalie texted me yesterday. "Heard about the Cole situation. You doing okay?" "Managing. She's basically dating him while living in my house. That's trash behavior. You deserve better." "Thanks. Hey, random question. You free for dinner Thursday?" Long pause from me. Then, "Are you sure about this?" "Very sure." She made her choice. Time you made yours. "Okay. Where?" "Bella Vista at 7? Bella Vista, the place where I proposed. The place Diana Instagrammed every time we went. The place where the wait staff knew us by name. That's bold. That's the point. Thursday came. Diana left at 6 to meet Cole. I picked up Natalie at 6:30. She looked incredible. Black dress, heels, the works. "You sure about this?" she asked, getting in my car. Never been more sure. We got to Bella Vista and Mario, our usual server, did a double take. "Mr. Crawford, no Diana tonight?" "Not tonight, Mario. This is Natalie." Mario's eyes widened, but he stayed professional. Seated us at our usual table, the one by the window where I'd proposed 8 months ago. Halfway through appetizers, Natalie and I were genuinely having a great time. She was funny, smart, actually interested in my work instead of scrolling through her phone. She asked about the new project I'm leading, remembered details from conversations we'd had at parties. That's when my phone exploded. "Are you serious right now? Natalie just posted from Bella Vista. That's our place, with my best friend." I showed Natalie. She laughed and raised her wine glass. "To new beginnings." "To new beginnings?" I got home at 10 p.m. to find Diana rage-pacing the living room. Cole was there, in my house, sitting on my couch. "How dare you?" she screamed. "How dare I what? Take Natalie to our place. It's a public restaurant, and you were busy with him." I nodded at Cole. "Bro, that's cold," Cole said. This guy looked exactly like you'd expect. Man bun, vintage band t-shirt, probably hasn't had steady work since 2019. I don't remember inviting you into my home. It's Diana's home too. Actually, it's not. My name's on the mortgage. She's month to month. Diana's face went red. You can't be serious. Dead serious. You want to explore things with your ex? Cool, but not while living in my house. Where am I supposed to go? Maybe Cole has space. Oh, wait. Don't you still live with 3 roommates, Cole? He looked offended. I'm between places. My music is taking off. Right. Well, you two figure it out. Diana, you have 60 days notice as of tomorrow. I'll email it to you. You're kicking me out for one dinner with Natalie? No, I'm kicking you out because you're actively dating someone else while living in my house, using my utilities, eating my food. She tried tears next. Baby, please. Natalie means nothing to you. Cole and I are just reconnecting. Reconnecting? Your hair was messed up and you smelled like his cologne. We just kissed once. Cool. Kiss him at his place. Cole tried to step forward. Listen, man. Get out of my house before I call the police. They left, but not before Diana said, You're going to regret this. Natalie's just using you to get back at me. Funny. That's exactly what you're doing with me and Cole. The entitlement escalated fast. First, Diana tried to claim tenant rights, sent me some article about cohabitation protections. I forwarded it to my lawyer buddy, who laughed and said, She's not on the mortgage or lease. Month to month with proper notice. She's SOL. Then she tried emotional manipulation, started posting old photos of us on Instagram with captions like, Remember when promises meant something, and 6 years thrown away for revenge. Her mom called me. What's this about you evicting my daughter? She's dating her ex while living in my house, Mrs. Foster. She says you're dating her best friend out of spite. I'm dating Natalie because she actually wants to be with me, unlike your daughter. Silence. Then, Diana always did have issues with wanting what she couldn't have. I'm sorry, Jason. Plot twist. Even her mom saw through it. Wednesday, I came home to find my PlayStation missing. Also my coffee maker, my air fryer, and weirdly, all my phone chargers. I texted Diana. Return my stuff or I'm filing a police report. What stuff? Those were our things. I have receipts for all of them, in my name. An hour later, everything was back, dumped on the doorstep. The PlayStation had a scratch across it, real mature. Thursday, Natalie and I went to a concert, small venue, local band, posted a few stories, having a genuinely good time. Diana showed up with Cole. Fancy seeing you here, she said, trying to sound casual. It's a free country, I replied. She looked at Natalie with pure hatred. I can't believe you do this to me. We're supposed to be best friends. Were, Natalie corrected. We were best friends until you decided to throw away a good man for someone who already abandoned you once. You were just waiting for this, weren't you? Always hanging around, laughing at his jokes, pretending to be supportive. I was supportive of your relationship until you ended it. Cole tried to pull Diana away. Babe, let's just go. Don't babe me. This is all your fault. My fault? You're the one who contacted me. Oh, this was interesting. She contacted you? I asked. Cole looked confused. Yeah, like 6 weeks ago. Said she was thinking about me. Diana went pale. That's not... You texted me first. After you liked all my old photos and posted that song we used to listen to. I looked at Natalie. She was trying not to laugh. Diana had orchestrated this whole thing and was now mad it backfired. Monday morning, I get a call from my mortgage company. Hey, your fiancée called saying there's damage to the property. There's no damage and she's my ex. Oh, she seemed pretty convinced. Said there was water damage in the basement. I'm literally in my basement right now. It's fine. Gotcha. We'll ignore her future calls. Tuesday, she tried a different approach. Started telling mutual friends I was controlling and manipulative. That I monitored her spending and isolated her from people. Our friend Wesley called me. Bro, Diana's saying some wild stuff about you. Like what? That you wouldn't let her see friends, checked her phone, all that controlling stuff. Wesley, you literally crashed at our place last month after your divorce papers. She went to girls' nights every week. I never once touched her phone. Yeah, I figured. Especially since she's also saying you cheated. But everyone saw her Instagram post about Cole being her soulmate yesterday. She posted what? I checked Instagram. Sure enough, there was a photo of her and Cole with the caption, "Sometimes you have to lose yourself to find your soulmate. 6 years of settling taught me what real love isn't." The comments were brutal. "Girl, didn't you cheat? Isn't this the ex who ghosted you?" Team Jason. She deleted it within an hour, but screenshots were already circulating. Wednesday, the house drama peaked. I came home to find sugar in my gas tank, called a mechanic, filed a police report. The security camera I'd installed after the PlayStation incident had clear footage of Diana doing it at 2 p.m. I sent her the video. "Destruction of property. This is a felony." "Prove it." "It's literally HD footage of your face." I was emotional. "Tell it to the judge." The police issued her a restraining order and told her to stay away from the property. The 60 days were up. Diana had to move out. She showed up with Cole and a U-Haul. I had everything of hers packed and in the living room. Even washed and folded her clothes because I'm not petty like that. "Where's my grandmother's necklace?" she demanded. "What necklace?" "The pearl one." "You mean my grandmother's necklace that I inherited? It's in my jewelry box where it belongs." She went through everything, claiming random items were hers. The TV, I bought before we met. The couch, gift from my parents. She even tried to take my dad's vintage watch. "That's been in my family for 30 years, I said. "You promised to leave it to me." "I promised to marry you. Things change." Cole was useless, just stood there scrolling through TikTok while she melted down. Finally, Natalie showed up. She was bringing me lunch, but the timing was perfect. Diana lost it. "You brought her here? Now?" "She brought me lunch because she's considerate like that." "This is humiliating." "No. Humiliating is cheating on your fiancé and then being mad when he moves on." She turned to Natalie. "How can you stand yourself? You're supposed to be my friend." Natalie set down the food and faced her. "Diana, I was your friend. I listened to you complain about how boring stability was, how you missed the excitement of Cole. You know what? You got what you wanted. Cole and excitement. Now leave Jason alone. You've been planning this." "No, you planned this when you decided to monkey branch back to your ex. I just refuse to watch you hurt a good man and get away with it." Cole finally spoke up. "Babe, can we just go? My roommates are making dinner." The look on Diana's face. She'd thrown away everything for a guy who still lived with 3 roommates and worked part-time at a sports bar. "Take your stuff and get out," I said, "and don't come back." They loaded the U-Haul in silence. Diana kept looking back at the house like she was seeing it for the first time. The garden we'd planned together, the front porch where we'd had coffee every Sunday morning, the life she'd just walked away from. "You'll regret this," she said as they drove off. "I already do," I called back. "I regret wasting 6 years on someone who didn't know a good thing when she had it." It's been a month since she moved out. Here's where everyone is. Diana is living in Cole's shared apartment, sleeping on an air mattress because his room only has a twin bed. His roommates charge her rent, and she found out why Cole was so eager to reconnect. His ex-roommate moved out and he needed someone to cover the bills. She's been sub-posting constantly about fake friends and men who can't handle independent women. Nobody's engaging. Even her work friends have stopped liking her posts. Found out through Wesley that Cole's music career taking off means he got 2 gigs at local coffee shops, unpaid. Diana has to drive him because he lost his license for unpaid tickets. She's also buying his groceries because he spent his bartending money on new equipment. The best part? Remember that engagement ring? I returned it and used the money for a vacation. Natalie and I went to Costa Rica for a week, posted lots of pictures, beaches, ziplining, fancy dinners. Diana viewed every single story within minutes of posting. While we were gone, she tried one last manipulation, posted on Facebook that she was pregnant and I was the father, demanding child support. I commented publicly, "Interesting since we haven't been intimate in 3 months. Also, I had a vasectomy last year for medical reasons. Medical records available if needed. Try again." The post got 47 comments before she deleted it. Screenshot everything, of course. Cole dumped her that same day. Turns out he didn't know about the pregnancy post and realized she was trying to baby trap someone with money. His exact words, according to Wesley, who heard it from Cole's roommate, "I'm not ready for that level of crazy." She showed up at my house last Tuesday crying. Violated the restraining order, so I called the police, but they just gave her a warning since she left when asked. I messed up. I see that now. Cole was a mistake. Can we try again? We had 6 good years. And you threw them away in one text conversation. I was confused. You said follow your heart, and you did, to another man's bed. That's not confusion. That's a choice. But we had plans. The wedding, the house, our whole future. You had those things. You chose to gamble them away for someone who already proved he'd leave you once. She tried one more thing. Natalie doesn't really love you. She just wanted what I had. Natalie, who was inside and heard this through the window, came to the door. No, Diana. I wanted someone who wouldn't throw me away the second an ex texted. Found him. Diana's face crumpled. This isn't fair. You're supposed to fight for love. I did fight, I said. I fought for 6 years. I fought through your tears about Cole, your insecurities, your need for constant validation. I fought by building a stable life, planning our future, showing up every day. But I won't fight for someone who doesn't want to be with me. She left sobbing, posted some quote about learning to love yourself an hour later, then deleted that too when no one liked it. As for Natalie and me, we're taking it slow, but it's good. Really good. She actually contributes to dates, doesn't expect me to read her mind, and, wild concept, doesn't text her exes. She's been helping me redecorate the house, turned Diana's old craft room into a proper home office, planted new flowers in the garden, made the space ours instead of mine and hers. Last I heard, Diana's working 2 retail jobs to make rent at Cole's place. Even though they broke up, she signed a 6-month lease and has nowhere else to go. The roommates barely tolerate her, and she's not allowed to have friends over. Cole's dating a 22-year-old barista now, brings her around the apartment according to Wesley's sources. Diana has to listen to them through the thin walls. The friend group has completely shifted. Everyone sees what happened. Even people who initially felt bad for her are over it after the fake pregnancy thing. Wesley told me Diana tried to reach out to other mutual friends, spinning stories about how I emotionally abandoned her during a vulnerable time. But everyone knows the timeline. Everyone saw her social media posts about Cole being her soulmate. Everyone remembers her giggling at her phone during group dinners while I sat there like an idiot. The wedding vendors were surprisingly understanding. The venue coordinator actually said, "Happens more than you'd think. Better now than after the ceremony. Got most of my deposits back, minus processing fees. Used that money to upgrade my home security system and finish the basement renovation I'd been putting off." 3 months later, Diana's mom called me. "Jason, I owe you an apology." "You don't owe me anything, Mrs. Foster. I raised her better than this. Her father and I are so embarrassed by how she handled things. We really thought of you as a son." "I appreciate that." "She's been asking us for money, says she can't make rent. We told her she made her bed." Even her parents had cut her off. "How is she doing?" I asked, because despite everything, I'm not heartless. "Not well. Cole left her for some young girl and she's stuck in that lease. She keeps talking about how she wants to fix things with you, but honey, some bridges can't be rebuilt." "No, they can't. You seem happy, though. Your mother showed me the pictures from Costa Rica. That girl, Natalie, she seems lovely." "She is." "Good. You deserve someone who appreciates what they have." The irony wasn't lost on me. Diana had spent 6 years complaining that I was too predictable, too stable, too boring. Now she was discovering what instability actually looked like. Meanwhile, Natalie and I were building something real. She'd integrated into my friend group naturally, remembered everyone's names and interests. Wesley's wife loved her. My parents adored her when they visited last month. "She's so different from Diana," my mom said while we were making dinner. "More genuine, less performative." That was exactly it. Diana had always been performing. The perfect girlfriend, the blushing bride-to-be, the victim when things went wrong. Natalie was just herself, comfortable in her own skin, supportive without being needy, independent without being distant. 6 months after the breakup, I ran into Cole at the grocery store. He looked rough, thinner, tired, like he'd been surviving on energy drinks and regret. "Hey man," he said awkwardly. "Cole, listen, about everything that happened, I'm sorry it went down like that. Are you sorry it happened, or sorry you got caught?" He shifted uncomfortably. Diana said you guys were having problems, that you were distant, not romantic anymore. Diana said a lot of things. Most of them weren't true. Yeah, I'm starting to figure that out. She's intense. I almost felt bad for the guy. Almost. She contacted you, didn't she? Not the other way around. He nodded. Started liking old photos, commenting on my posts about missing real music. I thought she was just being friendly until she asked to meet up. And you said yes because? Because I'm an idiot who thought I could relive my 20s. He looked defeated. She's not the same person I dated back then. More desperate, more manipulative. No, she's exactly the same person. You just have better perspective now. You dodged a bullet, man. I know. The final piece of closure came 8 months later. Diana showed up at Bella Vista on a Tuesday night, alone, according to Mario, who texted me about it. She ordered a glass of wine and sat at our old table, staring at her phone for 2 hours. She kept looking toward the door, Mario said when I stopped by the next day. Like she was waiting for someone, seemed really sad. Did she say anything? Asked if you still came in. I told her you do, but with your new lady friend. She left right after that. I felt a moment of something, not quite pity, but recognition of how far she'd fallen, from planning our wedding at that same table to sitting alone, hoping I'd walk through the door. But that moment passed quickly, because this was her choice. Every step of the way, she'd chosen drama over stability, excitement over loyalty, fantasy over reality. A year later, Natalie and I moved in together officially. She sold her condo and we combined households properly. No month-to-month arrangements, no keeping separate finances, just in case. We were building something permanent. Do you ever think about her? Natalie asked one evening as we were painting the guest room. Sometimes, I said honestly, not missing her, but wondering if she learned anything. Probably not. People like Diana don't usually accept responsibility. It's always someone else's fault. She was right. Through Wesley, I'd heard Diana was working at a dental office now, living with a female roommate, dating casually but nothing serious. Still posting inspirational quotes about knowing your worth and not settling. The delusion was strong with that one. 2 years after the breakup, Wesley told me Diana had gotten engaged to someone new, a divorced dad with 2 kids who owned a small construction company. Good for her, I said, and meant it. Maybe she'd learned something after all. Maybe she'd appreciate stability now that she'd experienced the alternative. Or maybe she hadn't learned anything, and some other poor guy was about to discover what I'd discovered, that pretty words about love and commitment are meaningless if they're not backed up by actions. Either way, it wasn't my problem anymore. Natalie and I got engaged last month. Same ring, different woman. This time, when I proposed, I knew she'd say yes, not because she felt obligated or caught up in the moment, but because we'd built something real together. No drama, no second-guessing, no wondering if someone from her past might text and blow up our life. Just love, real love, the kind that chooses you every day, not just when it's convenient. Diana taught me what I didn't want. Natalie showed me what I did. Best trade I ever made.